Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Woman's Cave. Thank you, Jade, for allowing me to have that because you were gulping water.
I know she started it on purpose, just like that, so I could be in the middle of like trying to swallow water and say, "Welcome to the women's game."
You recognize there's always some sort of explanation every time she doesn't win. I feel like it's a sore loser.
Wow. So, well, Nona, you're gonna go there.
I mean, you've
You,
already me.
you are going to go there. Oh, all right. Okay, I see how it is.
I'm gonna say this. It takes one to know one. But anyway, moving on.
Wow.
I insulted us both.
I just want to say that's why she has lipstick on her teeth.
Okay,
See?
you can finish it up now.
See?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
disappear from the frame.
Yeah, you're gonna disappear from the frame because you have lipstick all on your teeth. Yeah,
No, I'm gonna
it's
just be
fabulous.
drinking.
I should see. Had you waited, I could have swallowed my water and told you about it. Just saying, I'm Jade though.
And I'm Winona, the one who's taking this horrible. I don't know. I don't even know how to finish that thing.
So you just
Let's
just
just
let
stop
that
with
hang.
horrible. Let's
This
just
is
let it hang.
this is how you know she's a suspense writer. She just like hangs things in the middle, like horrible. It was like, what was
Cliffhanger.
horrible?
By the second book,
To be continued. What's horrible? Okay. Anyway.
Alright.
Yeah, so we
Let's
love literary life guides with pop poetry. Some people like to call them anthologies, poetry. We don't like to call them that. We like to call them literary life guides with pop poetry. So we wrote, and I thought divorce was bad with other life lessons. And I thought being grown up was easy. I'm going to go with If Only I Were Me, a memoir in verse, and pull one out of your hat, Winona.
Let's go with Foreign Coffee because it's here.
And Foreign Coffee.
So
let's
that's
do it.
4 of the 20-some books we wrote. There you go.
All right, you can find them all on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com. Also, for 3 of those, you can find it on Audible.
That's true. And I'm gonna have a new book on Audible, y'all, soon.
I know there's a couple of them coming out. We're super excited about that. So
wait, there's 2 more coming out, isn't there?
Yeah,
three. There's 3 coming out.
Coming out soon. So that's exciting. Just in case you don't want to read your poetry and want to listen to it,
there you
can definitely do that.
While we're talking about us, just quickly, that the new literary magazine is out, so please go buy that. And where can they find everything
you can find
about
out
us?
everything your ladies are doing on www.andwethought.com. But y'all on here to hear us ramble on about our literary life guides.
Although I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind because I'm a narcissist. You're here to hear about our wonderful guests. Wonderful guests.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you. I'm Heather Widener. I'm a mystery writer. I write traditional mysteries. I have a sassy PI in Richmond, Virginia, and I have a new series coming out in October, and it's a cozy set outside of Charlottesville.
Ooh. Well, let's talk mystery writing.
First of all, how do you start as a mystery writer?
Yes.
When you begin, where do you start? Do you like, this is how it's going to end, or do you like, this is the mystery? How do you start?
I usually start at the end. Well, for me, it started like 100 years ago with Scooby-Doo and the 70s cartoons. And my dad was a police officer, so I thought everybody talked about murder and death and robbery at the dinner table. It wasn't until I got to college when I realized they didn't. And I was like, oh, so maybe I should be writing about some of this. So. But yes, I start at the end. I know what's going to happen, and then I kind of work backwards from that and then add the clues and the twists.
Wow. Okay, as a narcissist, I'm going to say a little bit about me and my mystery. I'm going to say I normally get like the first 3 sentences of the beginning and then know the last sentence at the end, and then I'm good to go. Okay, now let's move on. I think that's all the conversation about mysteries, right?
No, I mean, how did you?
So are you a pantser or a plotter?
I start out as a plotter, and I do an outline, and I have all my character Bible and everybody, what color eyes they have and who they're married to and all of that. And then I start writing, and it goes off on its own. So it never ends up the way I plotted it, ever. The characters take over.
Well, I think they always do. And we talk to a lot of writers, and they say, yeah, sometimes they just like take over, but they do a good job.
But they do a good job when they take over. I mean, it's like, you end up in places you never thought you would be, but then you're like, while you're there, you're like, this is a better place than where I thought I wanted to be anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Well done. Then I'll give me back the wheel so I can write my story.
I can finish it now. I need to finish it on up.
To finish it.
Okay, so Jade, you actually had a question. I don't want to just ramble off.
Okay, we need to talk about the 50 Shades of Heaven.
Oh, okay.
We just need to, like, that's amazing. Like, I just want to say it. Like, I just wanted to say it one time. Like, yep.
It's a mystery anthology. So there's 17 of us in here. And so there's all kinds of different mysteries, they all had to have a wine in them. So it pairs well with anything. So whatever you're reading, dark, light, red, white, craft beer, it works.
I just like to say the 50 Shades of Cabernet. Like I had to just at least say it one time in this whole interview.
Yeah, we had to tell people it's not spicy like the real 50 Shades of Grey. This is 50 Shades of Cabernet.
Exactly. I mean, but who would expect Cabernet to be that spicy? Now, if you were like 50 Shades of
Tequila shot.
Tequila.
We'd be like, we're about to get some story.
That's a story you want to hear about.
I mean, they're great. And there's so many, it's such a variety. That's why I like doing anthologies, because you get different writers and different styles. And it was fun to be a part of this.
Wow. So what kind of story did you write for this?
I don't want to give it away, but I have a rich woman who owns a winery, and she wants the granddaughter to come and work for her. And the granddaughter has other plans, but the grape doesn't fall far from the vine.
Oh, there we go.
And you see, she didn't give it away at all.
In fact, she made it a mystery.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
it was suspense. She hung it like, and then that horrible thing. Nothing. I love it. I love it.
So you also have a blog. So why did you get started on your blog, and then how do you continue to write it?
When I first signed my first book contract, it had, you're going to have a website, and you're going to have a blog, and you're going to be on Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest and LinkedIn and Twitter, and it just went on and on and on. I thought, okay, what am I going to blog about? So it's usually writing. It's usually on the topic of writing, things that new writers need to know, things that I've encountered, things I learned the hard way, things that I learned from other writers, which is great. So if you guys ever want to visit, let me know. I do an author blog on Thursdays.
Absolutely.
I was still going to ask that.
We would love to visit. We would love to come.
Love it.
Okay, so you got started on the blog. Okay, so you talked about you're traditionally published. And when you're traditionally published, they said in your contract you will do all of these things. Were you already versed in all of these? Well, you did say not blogging. You weren't versed in that. Were you?
I didn't blog. I had a website for something else, so I knew that I needed to build one. I'd started Twitter and I'd started Facebook, but then now it's just exploded. Now it's Instagram and Pinterest and BookBub and Goodreads and.
Yeah, so there's a lot. So how do you balance that between actually writing a good book?
But it is balance. My day starts at 5 o'clock, so I get up.
Yeah.
Now that I'm working from home, I use my commute time to do the social media and the writing, and then I can go to work. And then when I'm finished at 5, then I can jump back on and check social media, do blog posts. Schedulers are a really good thing. You can schedule Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can schedule your blog posts. So that helps me. I can do that on the weekends and get those ready.
Wow. So you work full time and then write these wonderful books.
I don't know why. I just assumed you were a full-time writer. I was like, you published you for a full-time writer. Okay.
No, I'm an IT manager during the day.
Wow. That explains the chair.
Yeah, it does. And I was looking at the chair and I said,
isn't that a gamer's chair?
I didn't want to say anything because I was like, you know what?
Everybody games.
She might have borrowed that chair. She might have been forced to come home to work because, like, as a parent.
My chair broke when we started doing the work from home, and I was pricing the chairs, and the really nice office ones were $2,000 and $3,000, and I went, whoa, wait, gamers sit all day, and they sit in chairs, and they're comfortable, so I got a gamer's chair.
Aren't you comfortable though?
It is. It's really good.
Exactly what I was thinking happened. Right? That's exactly what I was thinking that happened. How has 2020 impacted you as a writer, and then all the juggle that you have to do, right? Because you had like office time, and then you had like home time, then you had writing time, but now it's just like everything is in there together.
It's one time.
It's blurred, and I end up sitting at my desk for 10 or 11 hours sometimes, and it's like I've got to stop. I got to get up. I got to move around. I bought a desk bike. Do you know what they are? It's a
yes.
Yeah. No. I have a desk bike. You can see it. It's just a peddler, but you put it under your desk and you pedal during meetings.
Oh my goodness, I really want one now. Like I want one.
I've always wanted the desk treadmill, but I really don't have a desk because I'm like, it makes it feel like too much like work.
But I want one now. It's
really cool. As long as you're on mute, you can just pedal and they never know.
That you gotta admit, I hate the fact that we're in a pandemic. I hate the fact that so many people are perishing. but
I know.
it
It's so
really like changed how you work and how you do
Changed the
things,
game.
and it changed the game. Do you think you're gonna be ready to go back?
it's going to be tough. I mean, I still go in the office occasionally because I'm the manager on duty sometimes. And it is weird when you're around people. It's like, wow, oh, other people. And I'm not wearing my sweatpants and I'm not barefooted today. And, so but I can go to more conferences that I wouldn't have gone to otherwise, training. And I said when it started, I said, I'm going to use my commute time because I live in the suburbs and drive into the city every day. So I said, well, I'm going to use that time to write. I finished 2.5 books and a novella. So it works. It works.
I like it. That
I said the same thing, but I'm a full-time author, so there was no commute time.
Oh,
Well,
TV time or something.
And I did nothing.
No, we did. We people asked us to redo a couple of things in our books, right? Because we're independently published. And so we said, sure, right? So we did like 3 second editions and another book all in November.
So yeah, see, it's very productive.
Right.
It is when you finally sit down to write. Okay, so what can we expect? Oh no, Jade has another question.
I have one more question, and then I'll let Winona have it. So did being an IT manager really help you in your transition when you were doing the transition to be a published author, because you kind of knew the tech side of a lot of things that people are then like thrown into?
That part helps. And then having the resources, the people that are really super good at that, the security engineers and the network guys, because I can go talk to them at lunch and go, hey, if I'm going to put this in a scene, how much do I want to put in there? Because sometimes you don't want to give them the whole blueprint of this is how you break into an account or this, but they can kind of give you hints of, well, do it this way and it'll be realistic enough. And it's very helpful with the resources. And
Thank you.
Thanks.
I just wanted to know.
So now I'm gonna, I'm gonna read more of your books for tech things, right? I'm just gonna
okay.
Tech.
Yeah, there's always a techie geek in there. There's always somebody that's doing a little bit of side hacking.
Side hacking. I like how she says it too.
Just a little bit.
Okay, so as an narcissist, coming back to me, but like recently I picked up a series that I had not been writing on for years, and I went to go write on it, and then I recognized every bit of technology was so old.
It does, and it changes so fast.
And I was like, and I mean, like not like just old. It was like, so someone was going to do some hacking, and they actually started with DOS.
Mm-hmm.
So no one does
and
that.
I was like, no one does that.
Yeah.
I mean, so not necessary. Oh my word! It's like you have to gut the whole book just to make it work now.
Okay, so anyway, more questions.
But my other question was, what can we expect from you next?
The Glamping Series comes out in October, and that's a 3-book series. She takes vintage trailers from the 50s and 60s and glamps them up for a camping experience. And then her boyfriend builds tiny houses, so she adds those to the campsite. And then horrible things happen. It's just none that are her fault. And she has to get in and save her business because someone died on the property.
Oh no!
Oh, I love it. I love it.
This book.
I know. Like,
is there gonna be an audiobook?
Huh?
Is there gonna be an audiobook?
I don't know yet. This was just for ebook and paperback. So I don't know if they're going to do the audiobooks or not yet.
We're gonna hope for that. But I know I'm gonna read it.
I'm gonna read it, definitely. So, that sounds fun.
Yeah, they are fun to write. They're a lot of fun.
So how long do you take on research?
It depends. I actually do a lot of research for fiction because I want to make sure it's right. So in this series, I had to look up all the campers and make sure they were big enough that it could be a glamping style. And then my dad's a retired police officer, so he's my best resource of, hey, Dad, how do you make a body disappear? And how big a hole would that make? And that kind of stuff. So that's the stuff you don't want to Google sometimes.
Yeah, no.
It's the stuff that you missed the library
for. Yeah.
I do. But Twitter is so awesome. I mean, I can put questions out there and go, hey, does anybody have an Airstream vintage camper? What do you like about it? And 5 people will tell me something about the campers, or just, hey, I need a resource. Anybody know an arson investigator? And somebody will come back and say, oh yeah, my brother, give him a call. So people are so kind and generous with their time.
That is amazing. And
Wow.
also, I wanted to ask, did you actually get to go glamping because you were writing a series about it and then take it off on taxes? Is that
No, I haven't done that yet. My husband likes to camp and fish. And so that's where I kind of got the idea, because he was rebuilding a trailer and they had this show. It's in Napa Valley, and they were restructuring these campers, and they were horrible looking. But when they finished, it was all glamorous. And I'm like, wait, I could glamp. I could do that. In a tent with a bear, no. But in a glamping situation, yes, I could do that.
So yeah, I think we have always wanted to glamp.
Mhm.
Yeah, I do.
Specifically in Wyoming.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, like, I mean, if you go to like Yellowstone, and I'm gonna just say this, I know I'm gonna ramble a little bit, but if you go to Yellowstone ever in your life, if you're thinking about going, go.
Go.
Yellowstone is amazing. It'll make you want to glamp. I
Oh,
mean,
I
maybe
want
you
to.
want to camp because any of our audience out there, they might want to camp. I wanted to glamp.
People that were riding with us, they wanted to camp, and I was like, we don't camp, we only glamp. And I don't see a glamping spot around here right now, so no glamp.
I know. I'm like, where's the bathroom? Where's the heat? Where's the air conditioning?
The hot shower, like I
Mhm.
my life.
Where's the door?
The favorite glamping thing I've ever heard of though is there's a glamping spot that actually comes with a butler.
Oh, ooh. There's one in Virginia that has those yurts. Have you seen those?
Yeah,
You can rent a yurt and stay in one of those round tents. It's really cool.
that sounds
That
amazing.
sounds amazing. Okay,
Okay, so we should probably wrap up because at this point we are like
we're totally off
down a rabbit hole.
This was fun.
So, as you said, you have a blog and you do a lot about writing advice. So, what are the top 3 things that you would tell any author being out there, trying to get published, trying to get a query? What would you tell them?
Don't give up. It is a business. And a lot of the publishers and the agents are looking for what is going to sell. So maybe what your idea is a no right now, maybe it's not a no in a couple of years. So don't get frustrated and give up. There are lots of opportunities. There are anthologies. There's writing groups that you can get involved with. But it can be discouraging because editors change things and proofreaders change things and agents look at things and publishers. You have to have a thick skin. It's a business, but don't give up. If you really want to write and you want to see your name in the book, stick with it.
How did you meet your literary agent? I mean, this is the last question I had.
I met her at a conference years ago, and we had talked, and I didn't have a cozy series at the time. I wrote a PI series. And when I wrote the cozy, I shot her an email and said, hey, are you interested? And she said, yeah, send it to me. So that
Nice.
was
I love them so much.
Goodness.
Okay, so where can people find out more about you and your blog and maybe follow you on your social media? Because if you have some questions, they might.
awesome. I'm at heatherweidner.com, Heather, WEIDNER.com. And that has the link to the blog and all my social media sites. And
Right.
the books are available at your favorite indie bookstore, your big box stores, Amazon. They're out there.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. We really appreciate it, especially you taking time out after work on a Friday, which is thank you for that. Thank you for that. We really appreciate it. So I'll go ahead and wrap this up, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, so you can find out everything your ladies are doing on www.andwethought.com. While you're there, take a moment, go down to the homepage, see all the wonderful things. Yes, some people might say it's too much on the homepage, and they're probably right. But still, we put it on there so you can see it anyway, so you don't have to go through all the tabs. And you can check out the Ladies Tale podcast, where professional actors read well known script. And then, more importantly than all of that, y'all, just go to the Ladies tab, go down to the middle and see the charities that we probably support. Maybe you can support them too, even if it's just adding them on social media and saying thank you for doing this wonderful work in the world. We really appreciate it if you do. And just remember, wisdom is all around you if
you're open to finding it and accepting it. So peace and love, you guys. From Will No.
And Jade, bye-bye. Oh yeah, thanks for listening.